A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, but don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock myself?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
It's round number 3 of the 10th season of the Venom Truck Series for the first time since season number 6. Welcome back to the 2008 Atlanta Motor Speedway. We're not calling it by any other name. Still the better Atlanta 115. It's hard to disagree. But I've got 41 drivers out on track who might feel a little bit differently after 115 circuits of this 1.54-mile four-turn oval here this evening. Welcome back to Turn 200's coverage of the Venom Truck Series. It's Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson. Buddy, welcome back to the cheese grater, Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Yeah, it's it's one of our favorites, right? We always love it when we come back to the old version of Atlanta. It's a favorite of a lot of the drivers here in the series. Others may think a little bit differently after the night's over, but I think regardless of the thoughts of the drivers, it will end up being a good race for us here tonight. And it will be a nice welcome back from last week, most certainly.
Certainly will. Let's take a look at the point standings because last week was canon, much to the delight of a few drivers. One in particular, Jan Van Leer, and also Chad Stearns, vaulting up the leaderboard after dismal Daytonas. They both had great finishes. John Kay and Joshua Monacek, though, still a tight battle atop the points heap.
Yeah, John Kay and Josh Monacek still up there atop the points, only separated by one this time. Hayden Palumbo, another great run. He sits there in third, also a podium finisher last week. Andy Poliski staying solid here so far this season, sits there in fourth. Matt Schlosser, who has grabbed his pole here tonight. He is up there in the point standings in fifth. Jordan Jorno, Josh Freed tied for sixth. Jan Van Leer, the big winner from last week. And, of course, when we go to the short tracks, you always got to think about the old number 5. He got the win. He's up to 8th. Josh Freed, Michael Dean round out your top 10. Then you got Eric Breeding, Austin Holyfield, Paul Sargent, Chad Stearns, who you mentioned, getting himself up into the graphic here this week. And then you got Jeremy McKinnon and Sam Baumgarten there in the top 15.
Well, this will be our 5th race in series history at the 2008 version of Atlanta Motor Speedway. Hard to believe John Kay's win in Season 6 has been the only Venom Truck Series race that we've broadcast on this version of Atlanta. We've had plenty of other leagues give this track a go, but this is only the second time we've gotten to cover the Venom Truck Series here. No repeat winners. John Kay was the most recent. Kyle Speece back in season number 4, the last race we didn't broadcast in the series. Nathan Reynolds back at season 2, and Jeff Langston that took the first ever race here back in the opening season of competition. We average about 3 cautions here. Probably going to have a little bit more than that here tonight if I had to guess. We've got 41 drivers out here on a track that behaves very, very weirdly and is not very kind to the tires or to the equipment. Lots to keep in mind here as we're rolling around the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Hello to everybody that's hanging out with us here tonight. Catching Jack saying, let's go. Yes, let's go indeed. Joshua Rutherford is going to try to hold on to the rear tires here. This truck very loose, and this track surface is old. Don Golden and Bailey Marie Modicek all hanging out with us here tonight as it is time to roll to the starting grid. For the first time since season number 6, it's still the better Atlanta 115 from 2008 Atlanta Motor Speedway. And with his 4th career Venom Truck Series pole, the Tech Tape Pole Award goes to Matt Schlosser for the first time this season. Brody Gunter needs a big week here after 2 disappointing finishes to open up the season. He'll be on the outside pole. Lucas Carver, likewise here on the inside of row number 2. Paul Ellison was fastest in practice, 4th quickest in qualifying, and he is going to have a go here tonight. Hayden Palumbo and John Kay, 2 of the top 3 drivers in the point standings. And Kay, the defending winner here at Atlanta from a couple seasons ago, starting in 6th. Jan Van Leer, last week's big winner. To the inside is Steve Vroman in spot number 8. Joshua Modicek, 2 runner-up finishes to open up the season. He'll start in the 9th position here tonight, with Josh Freed rounding out your top 10. Matthew Karikoff, and how about RJ Starcevic with a 12th place qualifying run here. Andy Poliski, 5th and 6th are his 2 finishes thus far this season. He'll start back in P13. To the inside of Chad Stearns there on the outside of row 7. Larry Eddy attempting, I think, if he's still in the session, his first Venom Truck Series race since Season 2, Round 1. He'll line up in P15 with Joshua Rutherford to his outside. Yeah, no kidding. Kyle Zittel, Zach Lockett, Andy DeCano back there in P19 with Michael Dean to his outside in 20th. Austin Holyfield, best career finish last week at 5 Flags. He'll start from the inside row number 11 with Josh Jackson back in the lineup here this evening in 22nd. Trucks begin to roll. Rest of the starting lineup all the way down to P41. Mark Ossier will scroll on by as Matt Williamson will give us the lay of the land here, the track conditions, and potentially what these drivers are going to be thinking for strategy, because it's not very straightforward.
Yeah, so the track temperature right now is at 99, which isn't crazy hot, but it's not real cool either. We had a lot of shade earlier in practice. The sun is now out, so the track temperature could possibly continue to rise, and that will be make this track even more slick and slippery than it already is. So that's something that we're going to have to keep our eyes on here tonight. 115 laps around Legacy Atlanta, 3 extra sets of tires, no fast repairs as always. The fuel is not really going to come into play a whole lot here because these drivers are going to be asking for tires. It's just a matter of whether you're going to need 2 extra sets or maybe you're going to have to dip into that 3rd one with your regular strategy. We'll have to see.
And full of drivers having to make pit lane starts after a contentious 5 Flags last week, and it doesn't look like Larry Eddy is in the lineup here at all. So we'll hope to get him back later. But it's Matt Schlosser and Brody Gunter on the gas inward green at 2008 Atlanta. Single file for the top 4 spots as Carver is loose and up the track, and Gunter will regain 2nd. Now they go side by side from 2nd on back.
Boy, there is some pushing and shoving going on just outside the top 5 here.
I think the real telltale sign is going to be back into turn number 1 here. These drivers will think that they have the temperature in their tires. Some of them may, but some of them will not. Schlosser tiptoeing it into turn number 1. Everybody side by side still behind him. Drivers on the move early. Austin Holyfield already up 7 positions from where he took the green into the top 15 now. As the top 3 are unchanged, Jan Van Leer has picked up a couple.
Yeah, this is one.
And caution.
Oh, caution is out.
Double. Cade Cannon is around in the quad oval.
It's like Jordan Jordan.
They got tangled together with Rob Williams. And yeah, you're right, Jordan Journeau slow there as well. There's a couple other drivers on the scene.
Journeau running a car inside camera for us here tonight. We'll get a look at him as he's coming back around the racetrack. He was slow, but the truck doesn't look too damaged. Actually, it looks pretty decent. Not to take anybody else's moniker there. Let's see if we can go ahead and take a look at the replay here. This is Cade Cannon in the number 88. Looks like you might get loose. Nothing really doing right now.
I don't even know where Rob Williams is on track. I can't see him. He's certainly not in that vicinity there.
Looks like they just kind of got stacked up. Oh, and it's actually Journeau. It's not Williams. It is Journeau that gets a nose underneath the 88 here. And the 88 goes spinning into the grass. I mean, honestly, all things considered, no walls were hit. Really no damage for Cannon at all. I mean, he's going to move back some positions and have a lot of traffic to fight through, but that certainly could have been much worse.
I think maybe what is worse than driving here with damage, certainly if you take right side damage, it's not going to help the balance of your truck whatsoever. I think what is going to hurt Cannon here is the fact that he had to lock those tires down. They are going to be junk, and you do not want to bolt on a new set of tires this early in the race.
I mean, the only thing that he might have going for him is that he slid a lot of the way through the grass, so they weren't sliding across the cheese grater asphalt surface while he was going through the grass. I don't know if that's really all that helpful or not, but it might save him a little bit here.
Certainly that's going to be the hope here for driver 88. Cannon, the last couple of weeks, ran decent at 5 Flags, did not get the finish to go with it. I think he did crack the top 20, however. So, looks like only a couple takers on pit road. I believe Hunter Breland and Rob Williams came down. Pascal Simard has had an internet disconnect, unfortunately, so that is going to take him out of the running, at least for a hot minute. But in the meantime, we're doubled up, headed down the back straightaway. Matt Schlosser, Brody Gunter right back onto the front row. Schlosser electing the bottom. Carver and now Palumbo on row 2. Jan Van Leer and Paul Ellison, who has slid back a couple of spots to P6. John Kay, Joshua Matacek on row number 4. And Steve Roman and Matthew Karikoff now into the top 10 on the outside of row number 5. Biggest mover right now, I believe, is Rodney Matney from 39th to 26th. Garrett Rainey also up 10 spots in spot number 15. So good runs for them thus far. As we head through the final 2 turns, looking to take the green flag this time. Pace truck will hang a left. Restarts can be tricky, but we don't have very many laps on the tires here. Looks like good, clean getaway for most of the folks through the pack. Schlosser will lead him out of the quad oval.
We'll stick with the car inside camera here for Carver as we get rolling through turns 1 and 2.
Carver and Palumbo both through on Brody Gunter. Gunter side by side with Jan Van Leer to try and hang on to 4th. Now will slip in line.
Tommy, before we had the caution come out, you mentioned Holyfield was a big mover, but you also have to be careful. You don't want to burn your tires up too early. It seemed like Holyfield was really trying to get on the move at that time, but you got to be careful to not burn it up too quickly.
Everybody in the top 10 running the bottom, running the middle, except for Ellison and Matacek, who have jumped up to the wall. Certainly, this is a track that will punish you if you try and go too hard. Schlosser with a 0.4 of a second lead up front, as here goes Palumbo looking underneath of Carver for second.
Carver trying to use that momentum, but Palumbo gets clear off of 2. And here comes Brody Gunter. Looks to me like Carver might be trying to save a little bit here. Others are maybe pushing the issue a little bit earlier than the 89 would like.
He needs to try and save himself here as Matacek is eyeing a move to take him 3 wide. He'd be stuck in the middle. He's going to let Jan van Leer go.
There is a long line of trucks that wants to overtake that position.
Hello to Lisa Kelly and Rob Williams in the chat. As Steve Roman going side by side here with, I believe that's John Kay, in a unique paint scheme.
John's a big fan of this place. Just inside the top 10 right now. I'm sure he's looking for a green flag run here to try and use his strategy on the racetrack to his advantage.
And he won here back in season number 6. Only 2 cautions on that night. Outdueled the likes of Nathan Reynolds and Jeremy McKinnon here to pull away. Got great pit strategy. So that is what ultimately got him the win.
Steve Roman on the move right now. Up through on John Kay. Now looking to get clear on Paul Ellison.
This looks to be Vroman, dropping back a little bit, trying to conserve. But now is right back to where he started as we've got problems at the back of the field. And one truck hard on the outside wall is Josh Freed. And that is our second caution here on lap number 12.
Oh, looks like might be quite a bit of wheel damage there for the 39. Oh, yeah. When you got the wheel cranked all the way to the left to just go straight and actually hit the wall on the front stretch, there's a problem.
So Freed was running, I believe, just inside or right around the 20th place bubble.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look. Oh, Freed looks like he might get put in the middle of 3 wide here. I'm guessing something goes awry here in the entry of 3. Looks like Michael Dean on the bottom, Tyler Berger on the top. Oh, looks like Freed. Oh, Freed might think he was clear. Either that or just trying to squeeze the bottom lane a little bit, and the 73 gets into the left rear of the 39. Unfortunately, it disappears there, but definitely hard contact into the wall, and I'm assuming probably some hard contact after that as well. There were some trucks definitely rolling through.
I'm not showing that anybody else hit him, I don't think. Now, did anybody else make contact with other drivers trying to scramble to get through there? That one seems a little bit more likely.
They were definitely stacked up. Not sure if there was any major contact or anything, but that definitely stacked up for sure. Let's go ahead and try and find the 73. And we'll go on board with Michael Dean. Heading into turn number 3 down the backstretch. Yeah, it didn't really look like Freed was trying to get down to the bottom lane. I think he was just trying to squeeze the bottom. And Dean came up just a touch. And the contact occurs.
Well, that will certainly take Josh Freed out of the running here. Finished 8th at Daytona. Didn't get a great finish last week at Five Flags. Coming back to green here, still Schlosser now with Palumbo on the outside. I don't think the outside is quite where you want to be. Not that Palumbo has a choice, but Gunter is going to get underneath of him and challenge here for the runner-up spot.
Got the camera another 50 of the number 55 on screen right now. That's Paul Ellison. Meanwhile, a nice battle here for second between Palumbo and Gunter.
Yeah, Palumbo able to cross up Gunter heading into turn number 3, but Gunter hangs on to it now, is going to go for the lead underneath Schlosser. Side by side for the top spot into turn number 1 here on lap 17. And Gunter is the new point man. But can Schlosser try and take him back into 3?
These two got to be careful not to battle too hard amongst each other.
Schlosser picked up a lot of marks from his fellow drivers last season on how his ability to save tire improved from season to season. Just a little peak there on Gunter, but settles back in line here in second as Palumbo will now have a look down low.
Meanwhile, Matichek is running the top the entire way around the racetrack. He's not all the way up to the wall like you will be when the tires really start to fade, but he is up there.
And you and I had to strategize for this racetrack with the Xfinity car here a few months ago in the ASRL Sunday League. I mean, it is really tough to try and decide when you're driving where.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, in the Xfinity car is different. I think in the Xfinity car in particular. Oh, is Matichek actually pretty
bouncing it off the wall?
Good amount of contact with the wall out of 2 there. And the Xfinity car in the setup we had, actually running the bottom seemed to be able to save some tire a little bit better as long as you had a decent entry into the corners. With the truck, I don't know. I'm not sure what this setup will allow as far as trying to save tire. I don't know if... Whoa! As Gunter has a huge move off the wall out of 2. Has to make a save, but really doesn't lose any momentum.
As Schlosser just cuts the lead down to about 3 truck lengths here as they head back to the stripe to complete lap number 20. Hello to Nathan Carroll hanging out in the chat with us. Pulling for Jack Watts. Watts has been on and off pit road a lot. I think maybe playing the fuel game just a little bit, but he's trying to pick up spots towards the back of the field. As Palumbo with the skirt of the wall there, and Matichek is going to at least start to look around to try and make this move for 3rd.
And Jan Van Leer and Lucas Carver were battling, and now will continue to battle again. Carver was able to get clear and is still clear of Jan Van Leer. Here is the battle for 2nd.
Palumbo tanking the run to Schlosser, but can't complete the pass yet, and that is tough sledding for a truck that's already loose. To have somebody with the momentum pull up there on the outside can snap you around real easy. And also getting bumped down the backstretch. Even though you're going straight down the backstretch, a little bit of contact like that can also spin you down the straight. I mean, these things are on the razor's edge.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I think we're late enough in this run and we have enough laps on the tires that I think the defensive line is the top that Schlosser is running right now, because as long as you don't allow Palumbo to get clear on you, you have the momentum and you will carry the speed out of the corner and be able to get clear down the back stretch and the front stretch. So I like the move from Schlosser moving to the top side here.
Bonacek, another scrape of the wall out of turn number 2, brings Lucas Carver back into the fray. Carver looking for spot number 4. But like you said, lots of momentum to be had on this top side. If Carver can pull off a slider here, he had it but didn't pull the trigger, and it might cost him 2 or 3 spots now. As Bonacek goes by, and now Van Leer and Steve Roman looking to go up top.
Oh,
that was close.
Yes,
That's
it
too
was.
close for comfort. Hello to Robin in the chat. Is Joshua hanging on to spot number 4 for now? Bertie Gunter enjoying a 1-second advantage over Matt Schlosser.
And Carver still stuck on the bottom here. He's been able... Oh, there's some movement further back. They are fanned out nearly 4 wide.
That's Rodney Matney trying to get it woed up on the apron. Tyler Bergert and Brantley Gainey were just racing around each other. And Bergert in the middle of that one as well, as there's still 3 wide, but Matney trying to get back up to speed here.
I'm not sure exactly what triggered that, but that certainly could have been a bad incident. But everybody does a good job to give each other some room, take a breather, and we're still rolling.
Yeah, normally you do not get to recover from stuff like that here on lap 26 on the run. Top running rookie, I think, in the standings right now would be Sam Baumgarten. He has just pulled up into 11th and now is working on Paul Ellison to get into the top 10. Matt Karakoff and Cade Cannon not too far behind. Good recovery for Cannon after the early caution. As Jan is through on Matacek.
Yeah, I feel like Matacek may have gone to the top maybe a little too early. Think he may have burned his stuff up a little bit here.
Maybe
But
so, as John Kay is underneath.
Yeah, he's going to continue to run it, though, try and run that defensive line here. There was a lot of 2 wide just 5 or 6 laps ago, and now it's starting to get pretty single-filed out.
The getting has been good, but it might be gone. We'll see who's been saving a little bit as laps continue to roll on. We've had a couple of cautions in here. The vast majority of this field is yet to come down pit road. When are some of these drivers eyeing to come down pit road here for their first set of tires?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to break this race into thirds, which would put you on a 2-stop strategy, oh, man, as I think that was Michael Dean and Zach Lockett nearly got together there on the front stretch. You're looking right around lap 37, 38, or 39. Now, since we've had a couple of early cautions, a couple of drivers, I'd say a couple. We got a lot of drivers here tonight. Probably quite a few drivers might be looking to push it a little bit further than that just because we haven't had as many green flag laps on this set of tires in particular. So I would say right around lap 40 to 42 or 43 is probably what we're looking at.
Retirements thus far from Josh Freed, Rob Williams, Tyler Thurmond, and Pascal Simard. The 40 drivers that took the green flag. Got 35
man.
on the track still. As this is, these drivers are not having an easier time with handling here.
Sam Baumgarten just got put in a bit of a sandwich there between Carver and Holyfield. John Kay starting to try and go to work some more here. As Monacek nearly a touch of the wall again off of turn 2.
That's one driver I am not at all surprised to see on the offensive at this point in the run, picking off spots. He started in 6th, dropped back nearly outside of the top 10, and has slowly picked his way back up as Monacek has got a handful of steering wheel to try and keep it out of the door of Steve Roman. And they're side by side behind them for position. Andy Poliski on the move.
Bumgarner, a big move down towards the white line. He'll be underneath side by side with Holyfield.
Hayden Palumbo is coming to pit road here on lap 33.
Wow,
he
that
pits
is
from 3rd.
Seems like an early pit stop to me, especially with the cautions that we've had early, but who knows?
His teammate Matthew Karakoff as well.
They could be looking at, I don't know, maybe the fall-off's great enough that could be looking at maybe a 3-stop strategy.
Would not shock me in the slightest. Looking at the race leader time. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we were going to the same place there.
Yes, we were.
We're about a 2-second fall off from the best lap for your race leader right now.
Oy,
30.78 was the best lap time for Gunter. Last time around, a 32.82. And, caution is out. And that is Cole Maxwell in the...
Yeah, it is.
Up into the wall.
Well, that has potentially ruined the races of Hayden Palumbo and Matt Karakoff now.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly were in jeopardy of going a lap down, and I think they are. We'll check up on that in a moment. Let's take a look, see what we can see here. That's Cole is super loose on the outside here.
It's Hunter Breland that's underneath of him there.
Oh, and Cole hits the outside wall on entry into turn 1, and yeah, careens right down into Breland. So, I mean, we were very close to where we were thinking pit stops would mostly start, and that is going to bring just about everybody down. Palumbo and Karakoff will stay out. Unfortunately for them, one truck has stayed out, and they will not get the wave through, I don't believe.
So John Kay gave Jan a bump there, getting into his box. Normally, they're, you're able to pass through one another. But, well, John Jacket over the radio. I don't think Jan is very happy, and I understand why. That's a top 5 run. He's down to now 29th. Well, I think there's a couple of interesting things going on here. First of all, Andy Ducato is still out on track.
Yes.
Now, I mean, he is going to get eaten alive here. And not only that, restarting on these old tires is almost a death sentence. I mean, Andy knows what he's doing, for sure. But, I mean, it is so hard to hang on to this truck putting the power down, even with relatively cool track temperatures.
Yeah, and it might be something where he's, just trying to save a set of tires, for the end. And, maybe he feels like coming down pit road here in 10 laps or so and just kind of getting out on his own a little bit might be beneficial to him in the long run, as long as we don't have any cautions in that time. We're already on our third one, so it's kind of a little bit of a gutsy move there, but
I'll tell you this much. If he could pick off a quick caution here within the next 2 or 3 laps, he'll have it'll only be a few green flag laps of an advantage, but that is definitely nothing here at Atlanta.
that is a very good point.
It's a big gamble, but it could very well pay off if things fall his way here pretty quickly. We'll have to see.
Well, I can tell you this. We're going to be paying close attention to this restart.
Yeah, we don't really have a choice. A lot going on all through the field here. Decano in control on the inside. Brody Gunter on the outside. You see Schlosser giving extra room as much as he's allowed to give. Up to the 0-2, and right
of the
there
tires.
you can see coming out from underneath of him.
Oh, boy, this is going to get interesting, I feel. Three wide through turns 1 and 2, trying to get around Decano.
Just driving with a parachute at this point. Still 3
Man,
wide. All through the pack.
really squeezed it through there.
Cade Cannon was just in the middle of 3 wide. That is broken apart. As Gunter leads him back across the stripe. Schlosser taking a look.
Giordano just about got turned into the grass.
Well, Jack Watts just about got turned into the catch fence. Schlosser back up to the top side here, trying to generate a run for the lead. Gunter moves down, but not quick enough. Schlosser with a big run. And John Kay up to third.
It looked like Gunter kind of had a little slip up into his entry into turn 1 there.
That allowed Schlosser to middle there very well.
Ooh.
Nobody's driving very well. I think that's the long short of it.
And again, Schlosser and Gunter have to be careful. We are very early in this run. If you battle amongst each other for more than just a couple of laps, you are really doing yourself a disservice in the long run here. And I think Gunter is realizing that.
Schlosser wants the clean air. Gunter willing to give it to him for now. John Kay in third, Andy Poliski in fourth, Chad Stearns up to fifth. How about Brantley Gainey in the top 10, plus 29? Big time moves for Gainey. As Stearns and Froman, they coming together there. And Gunter again going for the lead.
This is a race that just feels like it's got Chad Stearns' name written all over it.
Yes, it does. I'm sure John Kay is hoping it has his name written all over it as well.
A few seasons ago it did. Can he recreate it?
Lying in wait, watching the 2 leaders duke it out here. But he's bringing Andy Poliski with him. Poliski not doing any battling right now, watching his teammate in his rear view get worked over by Chad Stearns.
Schlosser's able to hold off the advances of the 0-1 yet again.
Joshua Matichek and Kyle Zittel got crossed up there out of 2, and they both had to make a save. They've dropped out of the top 10 now. Cade Cannon up into the top 10. Great recovery for him after the early problems.
Yeah, he's coming up on the battle between Carver and Ellison.
This is why this is the better Atlanta.
Whoa, boy! That was, I think, Srirachi.
Yes.
He was able to make the save, but he was pretty sideways there for a moment.
That was less good morning Frank and more good morning Vietnam, but a great save nonetheless for driver 3. Gunter charging back up. Right to the tailgate of Schlosser. Get to the middle. And still has a run. Pulls him back just a little bit with some side drafting there out of the turn. Kills the run for the 0-4, and Gunter going to try and take this lead back. As Poliski maybe sizing up a move here on John Kay. Gunter will pull the trigger on the slider, and he's clear by a couple feet. Back on point.
Yeah, early enough in the run here that Gunter is able to hold that bottom line all the way around turns 1 and 2. Able to stick it and send it. Now Gunter, I mean, that clean air is very important. I'm sure Gunter really wanted to get there. Able to make it work.
Poliski again, peeking down low.
Yeah, Poliski is putting some pressure here on the number 2.
We talked about, probably last season was the worst season of racing that Andy Poliski's had on the channel. He did get a win, finally. But, I mean, the numbers really just were not there. Really strong start to this season, however. 5th and 6th, he's led laps. And he's running again inside the top 5 after starting in P6. And challenging for a spot on the podium there, a little bit wiggly out of 2. And the top 4, say it with me, they're equidistant. A truck length between them all. Roman and Stearns not too terribly far behind.
Schlosser still working that top side. Here, Gunter has moved more towards the middle of the racetrack. And John Kay all the way down on the bottom. 3 very different lines there.
It's like scaled down Auto Club. 3 different lines. Bumpy, abrasive track.
The line for John Kay is interesting because he really enters more in the middle. And then right in the middle of the 2 corners on each side, he turns down the racetrack. Oh, now this time he's going to run the top. He's all over the place trying to work it over.
I think Kay has flipped the switch. But you're right, he is still searching around a little bit. As Paul Elson just had a bit of a tank swapper there into turn number 1. Cade Cannon looking down low, but Cannon's run is going to be thwarted, and Monacek will get to the outside of the 88. As here goes Kay with a look down low on Schlosser. Your 2 championship protagonists from last season. No reason that they can't do it again this season. Stearns and Vroman, I'm starting to think, have a metal rod connecting their 2 trucks because they cannot not be side by side.
I think this is the point in the run where Stearns is really going to start to flourish here. He just can't battle Steve too hard here. He's got to be able to make this move and make it quick. Wow,
Big
look at that,
run
John
here.
Kay.
Man. He absolutely said it, and he is going to take second.
That was a slider line right there.
Yes, it was.
I think he's learned a thing or two at Eldora.
If only he could show what he's actually learned at Eldora. Maybe season 11. Something tells me if John Kay can get the chip for the second time here this season, that Eldora might be making an appearance on next season's schedule. That's just a guess, though. I know 2 future drivers that'll be in favor of it as well.
You certainly do.
Oh, big time
caution's
problems in
out.
the quad oval. They're piling up. Hayden Palumbo is involved, as are Jordan Jorno. Great start to the season for the 84, and it's all going to come off the rails here. Eric Breeding involved. Looks like Sam Baumgarten is involved as well. And over the radio, Corey Rutherford says that he caused that one, but we'll take a look at it here. As Rutherford, I think, running in the 20th position. There's still a lot to be sorted out in the back half of this pack. But that's caution number 4 here on lap 56.
Well, let's focus on the Jack Links, number 15 here. And see if we can decipher a little bit of what happened. I'm guessing it's going to be between Rutherford and Baumgarten because Baumgarten lost quite a few positions here. Oh, that looks like extreme net code. I mean, they do not appear to be close, and the number 6 just takes a hard turn to the right. If I was Corey, I would not say that's on you. That's just me,
I'm sure
though.
he feels bad because that's his teammate.
I don't love to take this angle just because it's not a real TV angle, but we're going to go to the chase cam here. This often tells a decent story.
This is the netcode cam.
Oh, I guess Corey does get loose. I mean, he comes down a little bit at the same time Baumgarten is moving up the racetrack, just trying to get his good exit.
I mean, one thing we haven't talked about at all is the seams that run the lengthwise of the track. And Corey's got his right side tires right on that seam. That's not much movement, you're right, but that will set that in motion, and that is a couple of hard hits.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Jorno, he's been involved in a couple here. The first one didn't really cause any damage, but that one will definitely hurt a little bit.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Oh,
big damage
my
for Breeding,
goodness.
Baumgarten, Jorno.
Yeah, Eric Breeding, huge damage here. I didn't realize how much damage he had. Oh, man, he just hits the outside wall a ton. Breeding's night probably will be over.
So back in real time here, we're doubling up for the restart. The top 13 drivers have stayed out. Brody Gunter pitting from 14th, or rather from the lead, is now in 14th. Outside row 7.
That was a weird time for a caution to come out.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, we were basically right in the middle of the run that those drivers wanted to have on that set of tires, and it's one of those things that, you know, the drivers up here in the front right now, they're hoping to save a set for further on in the race. The drivers that just came down pit road, they're still going to have to take another set, and that'll be their third set, and then they'll be out. So if a late race caution comes out, they're not going to have that extra set to use. It's a gamble here. You just got to make a decision, and you got to trust it.
Well, Gunter got to be trusting of the folks around him restarting on old tires. We've already seen how it could go sideways quickly. It's John Kay electing the outside and Andy Poliski to his inside. So we're back on the grass, and Poliski, not a good start. They're stacking up.
Oh, there's trouble.
The outside wall. Caution's out. We're not done yet. Drivers scrambling to avoid. Schlosser making contact. I think everybody at the front of the field is going to keep it safe. But we're back under yellow, as that is the exact thing we feared. Poliski didn't get a good jump, and others stacking up behind him. It's just so hard to describe the feeling other than, I guess, doing burnouts or doing, I can't call it what it's actually called, but, you know, when it snows and you're young, you go to the parking lot of your nearest high school and try and whip burnouts.
You're whipping one,
Donuts.
baby.
Yeah, that's what that feels like, except for a lot less elation and more fear.
think we'll just go ahead and go for the drop here. Let's just go ahead and go to this chase cam again. We'll get a good view of the drivers up towards the front, as well as Sargent, who is the unfortunate victim that ends up going around here. We'll try and decipher what happens. Wow, look at Poliski up front. I'm going to back it up if you weren't watching. Poliski gets so out of shape here when he tries to put the throttle down. Right up on the point. And that really set things in motion here. Oh, and then Sargent, I don't know if that was maybe when he shifted. I mean, he gets way bad out of shape on his own. Right up into Kyle Zittel. Let's go on board. I'm curious if this was a shift for Sargent when he goes around.
And you could already tell when he was on the gas, he was wiggling pretty hard.
Yeah, and it was. Seems like it's when he pulled the clutch in to shift to third. Just takes an immediate right-hand turn on him.
I mean, literally just driving on ice, trying to get back up to temperature. If you can nurse it through that, then it'll be okay. But, I mean, it's hard to get through that, as put on display there.
And for those that already don't know, yes, I'm a motorcycle guy. I did say pull the clutch in. That's not really what happens in this car, but, you know, it's the same thing.
Yeah. So a few drivers down pit road here under this caution. Paul Ellison, Cade Cannon, most prominently. They'll give up spots in the top 10. Ellison was in the top 5. I believe Brantley Gainey, Garrett Rainey, Corey Rutherford, Michael Dean, Matthew Karikoff also down pit road. Joshua Rutherford is the lucky dog, so he is now your 27th driver on the lead lap. Jordan Jorneau also on the lead lap, so that gives us 28 here. So extra heat cycle for these drivers that pit under the last caution. That's good news for the drivers that stayed out, but they've got to try and survive another restart here.
Yeah, everybody has to try to survive another restart here.
No kidding.
It's okay to take it easy on one or two here.
It's just as nerve-wracking as the last time. Now Chad Stearns to the inside. Kay again electing the top. Poliski still on row 2 now with Steve Roman to his inside. A little bit better. RJ Starcevic wobbly, but we'll get it up to third gear at least. As we watch Brody Gunter now in P7 try and work his way up to the lead on the fresher tires.
Man. Oh, there goes one.
Josh Jackson hard into the inside wall. We are still green.
Yeah, still green. He's not on the racetrack. And I think he may total the pits, so we should stay green here.
Gunter is rocking and rolling. But now he is blocked by Vroman. Stearns had to go there at K through 3 and 4, but K holds on.
Gunter is going to find the lead quickly here.
It's like the conveyor belts at Toad's factory. Half the field is moving backwards, the other half is rolling forwards.
All right, take that back
Gunter.
to oh, boy!
Oh, man!
That, if there was any sort of net code there, that easily could have turned Stearns.
Jan Van Leer and Lucas Carver making some contact. Carver going the wrong direction.
Oh, dear. 3 wide.
Oh, boy. Look at this.
Gunter.
Oh, just a little bit of contact. Matichek going to try and shoot this gap as well. It's going to pay off for Gunter here.
Palumbo dove way down to the bottom, just past 3 or 4 cars in turns 3 and 4.
Gunter to the lead. Monacek in second. Schlosser now in third as Kay and Stearns start to head the wrong direction. Austin Holyfield is looking to get through him. Oh, one in the wall hard. That was Frank Sirachi, I believe. He still rolls forward here.
Yeah, these drivers are going to start really getting jumbled up. Lots of drivers on fresher tires trying to work their way through.
This is going to be very wonky strategy-wise if we can manage to go green. I'm not so confident that we will, though.
So before that caution came out on, it was around lap 56 or so, they were looking at around lap 78 for pit stops more than likely. Obviously, they can push it a little bit further than that if they want to, but these drivers that stayed out, they got to make a decision if they're going to just stick to that number or if they're going to try and stay out a little bit longer so they don't get caught a lap down.
John Kay nearly just got put 4 wide. Carver, Matney, Ellison, who's on fresher tires than even Gunter, trying to get through on Stearns and Kay.
Oh, John.
That's Jack Watts there in the middle.
Yeah, John nearly made pretty significant contact with the wall there. He is moving backwards in a hurry. Here comes Monacek. Oh, and Monacek's in the wall.
Joshua is pushing hard. He does not want to finish second again. I'm sure he doesn't want to finish third either.
Third week in a row, another second place finish. I don't know if he can handle it.
No.
He's got to battle 2 of the best here in the series, though, right now.
Big run. You're going to take it to the back bumper.
He doesn't want the bottom. He wants to stick to the top.
Say, cleared his own path there. He's got a little bit of a run. And again, taking it to the back bumper of Gunter.
I think Monacek thinks this is the new version of Atlanta. Little bump drafting going on.
Not a bad idea to try and pack as much dirty air on Gunter's spoiler as possible and see if he can't overheat his right rear tire. But the problem is you're overheating your own front tires at the same token.
Front tires certainly important here.
It's the dance we drivers dance. Austin Holyfield up to 4th, coming off a career best finish last week at 5 flags, first career top 5 in Venom. We said Hayden Palumbo might have got a piece of that last big crash. Turns out, I don't think he did. I think he got through there okay. He's up to 5th once again.
Oh,
John Kay says he's coming to pit road this time.
Calls the pit, and this is early.
Oh, did he make pit road speed? He might have just got it down. I believe he did.
To me, that's early for John to be down pit road. Maybe he is thinking he's definitely taking another set of tires at some point here. Either that, I mean, we know that he likes to play extreme strategy one way or the other. Maybe that's just his way of initiating the hard undercut.
What he'll hope for is to not have what happened to Hayden Palumbo earlier happen to him. As Kay is leaving pit road, he wants this thing to stay green. At least give the strategy a chance to work. Jack Watts dropping a couple spots, running the low side. Still challenging here, Cade Cannon. It's 3 rookies all right here together for 10th to 12th. And Mark Ossier is not too far behind either. And Andy Ducato, one spot in front of them in P9. Garrett Rainey looks kind of like the senior that somehow is hanging out with the freshman.
He's just showing him around.
I guess. What a nice guy. Monacek has fallen off of Brody Gunter.
Whoa, Srirachi! Oh, no, right into...
No.
And
Frank
John
me.
Kay is not going to like that.
No, he just got hosed. At least Palumbo had time to recover. John does not. Boy, oh boy. They keep getting these mid-run cautions. The decision trees have branches upon branches upon branches at this point.
I will tell you this. This plays very well into the hands of the drivers that had stayed out and had not dove down pit road yet.
John Kay over the radio says, well, that did not work out very well. Corey Rutherford also had come down pit road.
Unfortunately, it did not. I fear that... Well, I'm just going to keep my thoughts to myself for the moment.
Okay.
Let's take a look at Srirachi. Srirachi gets into the wall. I think they're off of 2. Man, he went for a heck of a slide. And just right up into Rainey.
That's the old freshman getting the senior reported to the principal there. Frank, like he didn't get blown over.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we've seen less of that as of late. It was pretty prominent when they first made the changes. I think they've maybe dampened it down a little bit. There's the 3 into the wall. You see the sparks flying, and he pulls it way off. A little bit of an overcorrection. I mean, at that point, though, just the weight of the truck with the setup, it's just very, very difficult to control at that point. Man,
Look who decided
Ryan,
to pipe up.
I was going to say, Ryan Dyer really came from the clouds with that one. I haven't heard from him all night, but boy, is he here when he needs to be.
So we take an already bisected... as we've got a crash. What just happened? Somebody just crashed under caution. It might have been Andy Poliski. I think it was in front of Poliski, actually. I'm not 100% sure what just happened. Somebody crashed into the fence.
Fortunately, there's no record of it on my...
Well, we're going another lap under caution here regardless. But what I was going to say is we've taken it already... split field and split them again on the pit strategy as Brody Gunter's come back down pit road. He'll restart in 7th, but the top 6 staying out under this caution. To point out as well, John Kay got the lucky dog. He'll be back in 24th. But Hayden Palumbo, Paul Ellison, Cade Cannon, Brantley Gainey, Michael Dean, Joshua Rutherford all out at the front of this field.
And for a handful of those drivers, Gunter, Monacek, Schlosser, Holyfield, I believe also, I'm not too sure about. Yeah, I think Carver as well. I mean, there's a handful of those guys. That's their 3rd set of tires. They have no more left.
I'm showing only of the drivers that just came down pit road. Andy Ducato and Chad Stearns, Zach Lockett with... and possibly one set left. I cannot tell with Jack Watts because he's been down pit road 7 times, but he came in for fuel a lot early. So there's a chance he still has a set left. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, we're in the back half of this race, but not very far. This is going to get dicey. It might even get rain dicey.
We're right. We are right in the final third of this race.
Well, we appreciate everybody that's hanging out with us, including Eric Breeding. Sorry that you have to be here, but we appreciate you. So we've already seen how difficult it is to restart on old tires, and the top 6 will have to do just that. Palumbo and Ellison, Cannon and Gainey, Dean and Joshua Rutherford. Back on the gas. Dean a little wobbly there. And they are 4 wide. Modicek trying to bully his way through.
This
Back
is
into Rutherford. Joshua going to save it. Palumbo's gotten away. Ellison and Cannon are side by side behind them, and Brody Gunter again is on the move.
man. Oh, boy.
Squeezing him down into the grass there. And Gunter rolls out of it to live to fight another day, but he's bringing Modicek and Schlosser right back into the mix. That's Gary Clark staying slow as Gunter now up the middle 3 wide. Elson putting the power down, trying to close in on Palumbo, but it's about to be all for naught as Gunter going to blow by.
But he wasn't able to shake Modicek or Schlosser.
No, he was not.
Both of those drivers coming right on through. Schlosser going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage here on the bottom. He'll lose a little bit of time to both Modicek and Gunter, but should still be right here.
Rodney Matney into the top 10 and moving with the leaders here. Make that the top 5 as he's right behind Lucas Carver. Right on cue, there's Stickers McQueen. Palumbo and Ellison side by side as they continue to plummet through the field. They're boxing out drivers with fresher tires.
Modicek has not run the bottom much all night. He is going for it here for the lead. While these two battle, Schlosser's running the top, trying to get a big surge of momentum. Oh, Schlosser tries to go all the way to the bottom. He does get underneath the Modicek.
Wow.
Boy, these three are scrapping early in this run. This might not be advised.
No, with no tires left in the pits, certainly not.
Oh, boy.
Using all the good up. Carver trying to close back in. Bring Rodney Matney with him here to make it a 5-car dance for the lead. Stearns in 6, Ducato, Lockett, Watts, and Van Leer back into the top 10.
Field is fairly single-filed out here for right now. As you take a look back a little bit further, right around the top 10. Karakov and Jan Van Leer are going to do battle here for 10th.
We talked about the good recovery for Hayden Palumbo after getting caught a lap down. Matthew Karakov was the same way.
Schlosser going for it on the bottom again.
Gonna back right up, though.
Man, I have a feeling that both him and Matacek have really burned it up here already. Gunter has had the benefit of clean air out front. Probably able to save a little bit more than those two behind him.
I mean, Gunter had to make a couple of wild moves, but the wild moves have ceased. They have not stopped for Schlosser or Matacek. Karakov done with Jan Van Leer, but now I'll have to worry about Andy Poliski knocking on the door. Poliski going to look to the inside here. As Schlosser still gunning for the lead. Right there, down on the paint. And a little loose. Matacek going to bump draft him. Really is the new Atlanta. Steve Roman just dropped 3 spots all at once, back to 14th. As Rodney Matney had it yawed out there out of 2.
Man, a little bit further back. Steve
that
Roman
is a mess.
Yeah, Steve Roman nearly got into somebody back there, it looked like, but they are able to keep all trucks moving forward here as Roman now going to go to work on RJ Starcevic. Nice top 15 run going for the 29 here.
RJ's run really well this year. Was running really well at Five Flags last week before he got mollywalloped.
I think he's put some time in the offseason.
I think so. No more driving on laundry baskets, that's for sure.
Well, we're under 25 laps to go now, ladies and gentlemen. I think last week we were maybe halfway through the race at this time of the night.
Honestly, a big if. It could still go the other direction, but it won't be that bad. Still lots of comers and goers. As Matacek up into the wall. And Lucas Carver is pulling back up. Wes Brown cheering on Rodney Matney. Matney with his hands full. Chad Stearns to the inside. With Andy Ducato trying to push him through. Ducato's in the best spot here. If we have a caution late, he's still got a set in the pits.
Yeah, there's a few drivers that came down to lap 78 that still got a set left here. Lockett's one of them. Chad Stearns is one of them as well. That is a dangerous man to have a set of tires left.
Yes, certainly is.
And as you mentioned, not sure about Jack Watts because he's been down pit road so many times. We're not quite sure where he stands on the tire strategy.
Still a good top 10 run. Where we expect Jack Watts to be in the thick of it here. With 20 to go.
Man, 20 laps to go. I mean, that is still a long time for these drivers that have been battling throughout this run. Namely, your top 3, Gunter, Schlosser, and Matacek. Matacek has fallen off the top 2 a little bit here. And Lucas Carver starting to reel him in.
Schlosser not letting Gunter get away. But how do you get around him?
Well, I tell you what, you don't have to look far behind them to see the gaggle that, I mean, this could be the group that brings one out.
Yeah. They are still stacked and packed, no doubt about it. Zach Lockett is on the move. I've called out his name but a couple times here this evening. But he's up to 8th, looking to solidify that position on Jack Watts and go to work here on Rodney Matney, who's starting to slip back a bit.
I think what we do need to mention is Rodney Matney is up 32 positions from where he started.
Yes, he is.
Now that's a good run. But Watts is trying to get an even better run there on the 83.
Gunter just broke loose out of turn number 2. Schlosser has a run, but can't go anywhere with it. As Watts and Lockett still going at it here for 7th.
Carver very close to picking off Monacek for 3rd here. Both of them running car inside cameras. This will be a great battle to watch. See some big wheel movements there from Carver as pulls up to the side of the 60.
And in front of them, here's Schlosser with a look down low on Gunter. Trying to get him pulled back here. But that's a move survived for the race leader.
And now Chad Stearns starting to creep his way into this battle for 3rd.
On the long run, Chad Stearns.
Oh, and he's going to take it to the inside of Carver here.
This win is not out of his reach, but he needs to pick them up and put them down at the front of this field.
I mean, all of these drivers have battled hard. He's had to battle a little bit, but certainly not as hard as these 3 in front of him.
We'll have the tire advantage in the pits as well if we get the late race caution. And they're 3 wide inside the top 10, so we might get that caution here soon.
Well, Stearns cleared Carver. Now Stearns side by side underneath of Monacek, not able to clear off of 4. Really think Stearns needs to try and get to the top or the middle here to have a shot at the leaders, but cannot get clear of Monacek.
Fastest driver on the track last time around, Zach Lockett in P8. Next fastest was Lucas Carver. It makes sense for Carver. He's got a big pocket of air in front of him. Schlosser's starting to give up some time. His laps are winding down.
I think everybody's starting to catch up to the leaders here a little bit.
I think so.
Monacek might have been saving a little bit, and now he's letting it all hang out. He does not want to let Stearns by.
Yeah, I'm showing Schlosser and Gunter as the 7th and 8th fastest drivers in the top 10 last time around. Not by much. They're all pretty close lap time-wise.
Oh, Stearns. Oh, Matichek got up into the wall. Stearns will be able to clear. Now we're going to see what the 05 has.
Aiden Palumbo is coming up on these drivers in a hurry, but he is a lap down in the 24th position.
Oh, Matichek trying to block Carver.
Doing all he can.
Drivers using every lane of this racetrack.
Here's Palumbo trying his best to stay out of the way, but he's got the pace
Here
to move
comes
through.
Matt Schlosser for
As
the
Schlosser,
lead.
out of nowhere, generates the run. Will Gunter have enough to cross him up? I don't think so.
Wow.
Schlosser to the point.
That move came out of nowhere for the 04.
Thought he was losing ground. Turns out he was just backing off. Here's Gunter now to the inside. Coming to 5 laps to go.
This will pull Stearns up to him as well. This is going to get good, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is. They're all converging at the front of this field. Schlosser trying to get away. And he has. Already 4/10 back. Stearns going to look underneath at Gunter.
And with Palumbo trying to make his way through, this has made things interesting. Oh,
Yes.
Stearns is clear.
Oh, not by much. We're talking inches. But Stearns is to second.
Teammates at the front of the field right now.
It's looking to be a good day for 939. Hoping that yellow laundry stays put away. We are coming to 3 laps to go. Stearns now going to get a pole from Palumbo, who's looking to unlap himself. And this could throw a wrench in Schlosser's getaway plans.
Yeah, Palumbo's now got some laps under those tires as well, though. He's not making up nearly as much time per lap. And we are coming to 2 to go.
Remember last time we were here, John Kay nearly got wiped out on the final lap by a lap car who had crashed. Schlosser, I'm sure, hoping to avoid a similar fate. No crashing in the equation. He's
Brody
got 3
Gunter.
tenths back to Chad Stearns.
Gunter trying to make his way up for a battle for second again.
Holyfield and Lockett battling hard for 7th as we're coming to the white flag. This race is official. Schlosser leads it. Stearns a little bit quicker last time around, but they've still got enough of a buffer between them. No mistakes from the 04, and he should have it. What a battle. At the end of this one, Matt Schlosser is going to get back to victory lane. Schlosser takes Atlanta. Chad Stearns in second. Brody Gunter will round out the podium. As it sounds like problems there on the final lap between John Kay and Andy Poliski. They finished 13th and 14th, respectively. Oh my God.
Schlosser he's biffed it.
Yeah, I don't think that one is going to be doing much celebrating. Maybe. That is win number 6 in the Venom Truck Series for your reigning series champion. His first of the season. After taking the Tech Tape Pull Award to start the night.
And that'll do it for the Selly.
Yes, it will. Let's get to your full finishing rundown here, as we'll hope to have a word with all of your podium finishers. Schlosser with his first win in the season, 6th of his career here in Venom. Chad Stearns with a great run up through the field, plus 12 to finish in the runner-up spot. Brody Gunter will slip back to 3rd late in the going. It'll be Joshua Matacek. Hey, the 2-first streak is over, but the top 5 streak is still alive. He'll take home 4th. Andy Decano was really in the driver's seat there late. He'll finish in 5th. It'll be 6th for Jack Watts, a career best finish for him and Decano both. 7th for Zach Lockett, Austin Holyfield at 8th, Rodney Matney in 9th, and RJ Starcevic in the top 10 at the end of the night. Congrats to him. Jan Van Leer in 11th, Matthew Karakoff in 12th. It is John Kay in 13th, Andy Poliski in 14th. Lucas Carver will finish in the 15th position. Steve Roman then in 16th, Paul Ellis in 17th, Brantley Gainey, Cade Cannon, and Michael Dean, the top 20. 21st for Garrett Rennie, 22nd for Mark Ossier, and the final driver there on the lead lap will be Hayden Palumbo, who unlapped himself late. He'll finish in 23rd. Corey Rutherford then, first lap driver in 24th. It is Frank Sirachi in 25th, Jordan Jorno in 26th, Joshua Rutherford in 27th. And then Sam Baumgarten in 28th, Tyler Berger 29th, Cole Maxwell 30th, Gary Clark in 31st, and then I think we're DNFs from here on out. Paul Sargent, Josh Jackson, Kyle Zittel, and Eric Breeding, the top 35. 36th for Hunter Breland, Josh Freed in 37th. Rob Williams, Tyler Thurman, and Pascal Samard, the 40 drivers that took the green flag here this evening at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Lots of talk of drivers being owed receipts. That'll be interesting to watch in the coming weeks. But for now, we'll talk to your 3rd place finisher, Brody Gunter. We'll bring it home in the bronze. I would imagine not the spot you wanted to come home at here this evening, but at least the season's a little bit back on track after a hellish couple of weeks to open it up.
Yes, sir, I will indeed take it. Felt like it was so close, but yet no cigar. Overall, good race. Felt like I played the best moves of getting to the lead always. Just some reason it felt like as soon as I got to the lead, I lost every bit of speed that I had beforehand. So I don't know what I was doing there, but still felt like I was running good lap times. I didn't know if it was made draft. Once Matt got by me, I guess I did some with voice with tires. I mean, they weren't terrible, but I guess they just did better.
I mean, what's the balance shift on the truck out there in all that clean air versus maybe Schlosser behind you? And did the balance shift, I guess, suit your driving style a little bit more out front, or maybe not?
I would say in traffic it felt much tighter because I feel like dirty air, and as soon as you got the lead, you slide out of the corner back to the wall with the right rear. So I feel like being out front, you burn the right rear more. But I wanted to be leading as much as I could because I knew once the tires got to a certain point, if you could just hold the outside, you could defend for a long time since the bottom was not the preferred racing line, especially with a truck on your outside. But I was able to do it for a long time. Like I said, just sadly, with I think a few laps to go, Slosher managed to get a nice run out of turn 4, which is not what I want. I was okay defending on the outside in 3 and 4, but in 1, 2, it's just as soon as we enter the corner, and his truck just hits 5th gear or something like that, and just takes off, and then he just slide job me.
Matt, what do you got for our buddy Brody?
Yeah, congrats. It was a great run and a really fun race to watch. You put on a good show for us here tonight, no doubt. When we take that last set of tires there and we're taking off for this last run, well, what ended up being our last run, You had to battle a little bit there with to get through traffic first of all, but then with Schlosser and Matichek. Did you battle a little bit harder than you would have hoped for to start that run off, or did you just kind of know that that's what you had to do to get to the front?
I would say definitely was what you had to do to get to the front, especially battling through the older tire people. I do apologize to them if they felt like I did anything overly aggressive, but I felt like looking around what we were all doing, you kind of had to if you wanted to be out front. And I feel like whoever got through them the fastest was going to be the leader. They could defend for as long as they could, but I do feel like there was a couple runs where I battled a little harder than I wanted to with Matt and Josh to burn the tires up. But I didn't feel like once it settled out, I didn't feel like I was at disadvantage. It just more felt like we kind of just it kind of just was they were staying with me at draft, but I guess overall I probably did worse. So hopefully in the next couple of races I am able to do better at saving tires.
Well, certainly I concur with Matt. That was fantastic racing at the front of the field, and great to get to talk to you once again at the end of the night here. Let's get some shout outs in before we let you go.
Yes, sir. As always, CGI graphics, Music Productions, work in progress, racing. Shoot, sorry, I lagged there, so I don't know if I went out and came back, but I don't want to be cut out. Work in progress racing. Also Foothills Broadband. I'll give them a shout out. Being my real sponsor. I forgot Sam's stream name. To shoot on that, but shout out to Sam in this stream, everyone at Venom, being opponents and the admins of putting on this event, as well as you guys at Tony 200.
All right, partner, we appreciate it. Great to talk to you once again, and we'll hope to talk to you again at Dega.
All right, hopefully, but I really doubt it.
For the record, Sam's name on Kick is Serby53.
There you go. It's a good watch. I missed last week's, which was on purpose, but the first couple from Daytona were pretty good. Let's talk to your runner-up finisher here. It's always good to get to talk to Chad Stearns. He was steaming late, no doubt about it. We'll come up one spot short here tonight. Still plus 12 on the night though. You really had to work for this one, no doubt. Congrats.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was a roller coaster of a race. Back and forth from the front to the back, but ended up well. Good night for 939 Motorsports, 3 trucks in the top 10. I can't complain.
I mean, all of those cautions fell at really weird spots. Given a couple of them, you had to dodge, but outside of that, it looked like you still had a set in the pits. Were we mistaken about that? I mean, you were really set up well for the end of this race if we had another caution.
Yeah, so I couldn't tell you when all the cautions came. I just know that I did have a set left, and I was praying for that yellow to come out. And I was talking to my teammate, and I said, well, now that we saved a set, it's not going to happen. It's going to go green the rest of the way. I mean, that's just how it goes. So
every single time. Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats. Still a great run here for you, no doubt. On that last run, you guys kind of fire off the four or five of you that were up towards the front for most of that last run. The 3 up front were really battling hard, and you didn't have to battle quite as hard as it seemed like they were. Did you know kind of in the middle of that run, okay, if I just kind of stay cool and calm here and let them do their thing, that I'll get this opportunity? Or was it a little bit of a surprise that you were able to get and have a shot for the win there at the end?
No, I definitely was watching them. They started battling almost immediately, so I just tried to sit back and conserve my tires a little bit, and I felt like I'd be able to make a charge late. If I had any battles with other trucks, I just tried to keep them to my outside, and just conserve my tires. And I gave it a good effort, but came up a little short.
It's all right. Great runs the last couple of weeks with a big run through the field at Five Flags as well. Great to get to talk to you once again. Looking forward to many more trips up to the booth here throughout the course of the season. But let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Just you guys turn 200 for broadcasting. Venom Truck Series, 939 Motorsports. We had 3 trucks in the top 10, P1 and 2 as well. And that's it, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, partner. Go rest up after a hard-fought one here tonight. We'll hope to talk to you next week.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
Well, it is your reigning series champion in Booth 200 once again here this season, but for the first time as a race winner, 6th time in his career, we get to talk to Matt Schlosser on the top step after a night with the Venom Truck Series. Welcome back and congratulations.
Thanks. Hey, do you guys like the new celebration I invented where you slide and kill everyone on pit road? 80 miles an hour. I was trying to do donuts and I hooked it too far and just I thought I was gonna get like a post-race black flag or something. So I was relieved I didn't do that.
Is this one of these new like extreme bowling alley strike animations that I keep seeing? Is that what you're going for there?
Yeah, we should load it up and send it to the all the bowling alleys around the country.
Well, certainly, I'll say this. I mean, you were definitely going bowling there at the front of this field there for a while. I mean, it's absolutely electric to watch you and Joshua and Brody and Chad and everybody that was battling up at the front of this field, John Kay there for a while, all throughout the course of this race. I mean, you hardly ever left the mix. What was different about the end of the race than, I guess, towards the middle portions where Brody was able to get you there throughout the course of the longer runs that we had?
Honestly, I think just logging laps helped me get a little bit smoother and just get a little bit more confident with the line I wanted to use. I mean, it's obviously you can take so many different types of lines around here and some of them feel better than others and some of them are faster than others. And I kind of liked running the bottom as long as I could because I felt like it helped me save a little bit of tires. And then, the draft was also important too. I was able to, even if Brody beat me a little bit in the turn, I could just draft right back up to him and save. And I think, personally, I think if the roles were switched, Brody would have gotten me quickly for sure. I felt like that was a situation where I wanted to be in second and be able to kind of dictate and dictate when I tried to make a move and hope it would work. And it just kind of worked out. I was able to get a little bit of a run on him and send it deep into turn 1 and slide up a little bit in front of him. So it worked out. And the pit strategy luckily worked out too. That could have been way different with a couple other cautions, but it was just one of those races where I felt like it, I got a little bit better as the day went on and I was able to kind of hang with everybody and be there at the end and make a move. So it was just really fortunate for me.
Society's eating good again. Once again, Mr. Matt Williamson, what do you got for your fellow Matt?
Yeah, congratulations. I mean, that was a heck of a move there towards the end to take the top spot away from Brody. I mean, for most of that run, you were getting runs on Brody, but it never truly felt like you had a huge surge of momentum. But, I mean, that run that got you to the lead, I mean, that almost seemed to come out of nowhere. Was that something that you were kind of eyeing up and just hadn't quite gone for it yet? You were kind of waiting for later in the race to try it, or did that one just happen to come to you at the right time?
Yeah, I was kind of trying to wait for the highest percentage move. And I'm not sure if I just happened to get a little bit of an extra run off of 4, or maybe Brody flipped a tiny bit, or maybe a little bit of both, but I got a pretty good run and I was able to get to the inside and I was like, I think I can, send it in and slide up in front of him a little bit. And luckily I was able to do it. So I think, yeah, to answer your question, I was kind of waiting for what looked like a good move and knowing there might not have been one because Brody's obviously very good. But I was like, this is probably the best chance I'm going to get. And I took it and luckily it worked out. And it was fortunate that it did because if we got to go in side by side and stuff, the guys behind were probably going to be pouncing too. So it was good that I was able to do it in one move and not lose too much time.
Well, the answer to this may be obvious, but I feel like I have to ask it because it's the name of the race. Is this the better Atlanta?
Yeah, it sure damn hell is. I'll definitely give you that. It's awesome. I had so much fun. That was, man, I'm starting to remember a race that was more fun racing with those guys. Brody, Joshua, Chad, Hayden was up there. John K pulled off what has to be one of the best sliders I've ever seen. He passed me in turn 3 and 4 with it, and I almost like took my hands off the wheel to applaud him because it was such a good move. But this track is awesome. I'm so happy we get to run it, and I hope we run it again soon. But yeah, to answer that was a long answer. Yes, this is the best one.
I mean, it's hard to argue with the results after a night like tonight. Awesome stuff at the front of this field all night long. And it results in a match loss or victory as well, and that's always a popular one. So let's get some shout-outs in once again before we let you go.
Yeah, shout out to Venom and all the guys who manage the league. Shout out to Turn 200. Shout out to 939 and my teammates. Chad finished second. Awesome to get a 1-2. Zach was 7th. So good team result. We missed Josh Freed tonight, but hopefully we get him back soon. And yeah. Oh, also shameless plug, Friday night special stage. If you enjoy racing on Friday nights, send me a message or check out special stage iRacing League page or Sim Racer Hub for a Discord link, and come race with us on Fridays. We race jumpy trucks and GT4s are coming up and all kinds of other random stuff. So come check it out if you're interested. And yeah, that's all I got.
All righty, partner. Thanks for the time here tonight. Congrats on win number 6. Go celebrate, and we'll hope to talk to you again next week at Talladega.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So Schlosser, I mean, he picked up a penalty late last week at 5 Flags, but I mean, he was in the running there all night up until that point. But really, the first 2 races, I mean, he's been on an absolute tear. And the win just solidifies that as Schlosser, again, probably the championship favorite. He's certainly off to a hell of a start.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, there's, it's early. It's very early. A lot of drivers that haven't really been able to totally get their footing that, if they stick to the top 10 and, come the chase format, they might be able to make some noise late in the going. But, yeah, I mean, Schlosser certainly has been very, very strong here. And, he really hasn't had the post-championship season slumps yet. Hopefully that doesn't come for him, but he's off to a good start at making sure that it doesn't. So, yeah, hats off to Matt Schlosser. Shout out to the Corridor crew for the bowling animations that you mentioned earlier. Maybe they'll get a little inspiration from his slide through the pit road. And you mentioned comers and goers also, and we need to pour one out for the Come and Go convenience store. They will no longer be branded as Come and Go very, very soon, unfortunately. So, yeah, we will continue to pour one out throughout the season for them, as you mentioned. But let's give a shout out to everybody that was in the chat here tonight. Zach Lockett was here cheering on his 939 teammates, and a great result himself there in 7th. Congrats on a good finish to him. RJ Starcevic with a good run here tonight. He looked like he was having fun out there. So shout out to RJ. Don Golden cheering on the Rutherford boys as always. Stickers McQueen cheering on Rodney Matney. Ryan Dye was in the chat here late. Appreciate Ryan Dye always being here. As well as Eric Breeding, Wes Brown, Rob Williams, Robin Matichek. You know who Wildish is. I don't.
I'm pretty sure it's Nathan Carroll.
Oh, okay.
90% sure.
You said a name earlier, and I just couldn't remember what the name was.
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah, well, shout out to Nathan then. Shout out to Lisa Kelly, Bailey Marie Matichek, and Joshua Rutherford, and Catching Jack. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This was a good one. This was a very fun race. And was much needed after last week, no doubt about it. So shout out to the drivers, shout out to the fans, and shout out to Tommy Cook for a good call as always.
Thank you, partner. Hopefully something's happened tomorrow that allow you to come join us for the Daredevil Series recruitment races. But if not, we'll have a good time. We are going to Navarra I think for the first time on the channel, you and I got to do the Thunderdome style race the other night with Special Stage on that exact same layout. There'll be a lot less course cutting tomorrow for the recruitment race. Not only that, we're racing at Navarra and Homestead Miami Speedway. So 2 short races to try and get drum up a little recruitment for the Daredevil series, which will be starting next Wednesday from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So Daredevil kind of back tomorrow. It'll be broadcast live here on Turn 200. Catch us at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time for that one. Then Thursday night, we're back with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series in Scott Patton Motor Speedway up in New Hampshire. You can catch us at 9:15 p.m. Eastern time for that one. And that will lead us into next Tuesday night. It'll be the Venom Truck Series, already back to the Super Speedway for some reason at Talladega. Not only that, that's the in-season tournament qualifying race. So, I mean, that's has Nathan Reynolds written all over it, literally. So, yeah, you can catch us next Tuesday night from Talladega at the usual 8:15-ish p.m. Eastern time. And, yeah, that's all we got for you. Thanks to everybody that was hanging out with us here tonight. Thank you to the drivers as well. Thanks to the admin team. And thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson, as always. And that's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again from the Superior Atlanta Motor Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long. And congratulations to Matt Schlosser, win number 6 in the Venom Truck Series, his first of the season. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.